welcome back to a brand new week where we're throwing back. This week is birthday week and we'll be doing all the themes, just going back in time, singing all the songs that we've sung on Active Kids, maybe even read all the stories that we've read. We might even have some cake and have fun. This week, it's all about partying. My name is Micheline Navatises and I have a friend here with me. But before I introduce her, this is where we actively invest in your future. That's right, Micheline. My name is Monique Adams and I'm super duper excited to be here and celebrate the 100 episodes with Active Kids. I'm really excited, Monique, to see what tomorrow we'll be having a huge party here with balloons and cake, so just keep it locked and we will have a blast. Also, don't forget you can catch us from Monday to Friday at 9 o'clock on our Zoey and Zoshy Facebook pages. That's right, and we would just like to thank Innovations for the super fun bean bags. And if you want to rent anything for your party, visit their website at info@kickstart.com.na. Yes, so before we head into story time, we're spoiling you with story time and arts and craft. This week, as I said, it's all about having fun. So there's so much fun coming your way. So before we head into story time, we need to sing a song. And Monique will teach us this song. Well, okay. Are you ready, friends? And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. 5 little ducks went out to play over the hill and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 4 little ducks came back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 3 little ducks came back. 1, 2, 3. 3 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 2 little ducks came back. 1, 2. 2 little ducks went out to play over the hill and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 1 little duck came back. 1. One little duck went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but none of the ducks came back. Said Mother duck went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 and all the 5 little ducks came back. 5 little ducks went out to play over the hill and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 and all 5 ducks came back. As you can see, guys, it was a bit rough, but we managed. Yes. Now, you need to get ready for story time. Grab your pillows, your snacks, and get cozy for story time. I think it will be tea hour this time again, Monique. What do you think? Ooh, I don't know. It's difficult to say. But you guys should enjoy it. Story time. See you now. welcome back to yet another exciting session of story time. Today's story is Hide and Seek by our favorite author T. Albert. So we'll head directly into it. James, his sister Sally, and Mark, their BFF, best friend forever, were bored. They had played all day, but now that it was dark and difficult to see, they had nothing to do. They couldn't play soccer because they couldn't see the ball. They didn't want to go inside and play a game because it was a beautiful springtime night and they liked being outside, especially after having to play inside all winter long. They just didn't know what to do, and it was a little too early for them to go home. "I guess I'll just go home," Mark said in a sad voice. "Oh, come on," replied James. "We still have time for another game of something." Then Sally said, "I have an idea. Let's play hide and seek." "I was just going to say that," James said. "Yeah, I'll bet," replied his sister. "You always say you were thinking of whatever I think of," she snapped. "Do not," James said in a loud voice. "Do too," held Sally. Mark just looked down at the ground and shook his head from side to side. "They are at it again," he mumbled to himself. Then he held, "Okay, let's play hide and seek. I'll be the seeker." He turned, faced a big tree, closed his eyes, and started counting out loud. 100, 99, 98, 97. Sally and Mark stopped arguing, looked at each other, and ran off in different directions to find a hiding place. In the distance, they could still hear Mark counting. 4, 3, 2, 1. "Ready or not, here I come." Then he turned and began looking for places where they could be hiding. Finding Sally was easy. She always ran off and then circled back so she would be close to base, the safe place to get to before being tagged. Mark looked for the biggest tree and ran towards it, but she wasn't there. "I'll bet she's behind that big bush," he said to himself. So he ran to it and was ready to tag her, but she wasn't there either. As he turned around, he saw James running towards base and darted after him. Just before he touched James' shoulder, James tagged the base and held out, "Safe!" "Did you get Sally yet?" James asked. "No," said Mark. "I haven't been able to find her, and it's getting late and we need to be heading home." So both boys held out. "Come out, Sally, it's late." But there was no reply, not even a little snicker from somewhere in the darkness. They yelled again, "Come out, Sally, it's late." Still there was no reply from Sally. They began to worry and started searching for her as they walked around the area. They called out, "Sally, come out, we give up, you're safe." But no matter where they looked or how they called out, Sally didn't answer. It was as if she disappeared. Sally was wondering what had happened. All she could remember was crawling under the big trunk of a fallen tree to hide. Now, as she looked up, she saw several stars through a small hole above her head. She had fallen into a hole when she crawled under the tree trunk. "Help!" she held, and heard her voice echo throughout what must have been a cave. "Help! Help! Help! Help!" "Did you hear that?" Mark said excitedly. Sally just yelled for help. "Keep yelling, Sally!" James screamed. "That way we can't find you." Sally heard her brother and kept screaming. After a short while, the boys were standing next to the big tree trunk. "Hey, are you stuck under this tree?" asked James. "Kind of," Sally said. "When I crawled under it to hide, I fell into a cave. Please help me. I'm scared. It's dark and I can't get out." Mark said, "James, you stay with Sally and I will go get my dad." Then he dashed off into the darkness. "Don't be scared," James said. "I am right here with you." "No, you're not," Sally sobbed. "You're up there and I'm down here." As Sally turned into the darkness of the cave, she bumped into something, screamed, and began to cry. "What's wrong?" James howled. "There's something down here with me," Sally replied in a shaky voice. Just then Mark and his dad came running through the woods. Mark's father knelt down and asked Sally if she was okay. He could hear her crying and sobbing. "Sally, are you hurt?" he asked. "No," she said, "but I'm scared and there's something down here with me." "Stand back, Sally. I am lowering a rope and will be down with you in a second." Mark's dad tied the rope to the tree, found the hole under the tree trunk, wiggled a bit and lowered himself into the cave. Sally could see him coming down the rope and stopped crying. Not only was he there, but the cave became brighter from the beam of his flashlight as it danced across the cave's floors and wall. As he reached the floor of the cave, he shone the light on Sally and gave her a big hug. "Don't be frightened," he said. "I'll have you out of here in no time." Then he shone the light around and saw that she had fallen into a small cave, and very close to her, in the middle of the cave, was something wrapped in layers of old blankets. "Mark, James, there's something down here. I'm going to tie it to the rope and I want you to pull it out." "Okay," they replied. The boys pulled out the object, untied it and let the loose end of the rope fall back into the cave. The cave wasn't deep, and Mark's dad boosted Sally over his head so she could crawl out. He then grabbed the rope. With a little jump was he able to grab the opening and pull himself out. "Let's go back to my house for a cup of hot tea. I'll call your parents so they aren't worried, and we'll see what treasure Sally found," he said. When they got to Mark's house, they sipped their tea and began unwrapping the treasure. They carefully peeled off layers of old blankets and clothes to reveal a wooden box. They slowly opened it and stared in amazement. "Oh my," Sally said in disbelief. "I don't believe what I'm seeing," the boys and Mark's father just stared. Inside the box were jewels of rubies of every color you could imagine. There were diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds of all shapes and sizes. Intermixed, they could see several gold coins and strands of pearls. "We are rich," the boys screamed. "Not quite," interrupted Mark's father. "Someone could have lost this, and I don't think you should plan on spending any of it until we found out a little more. Besides, Sally found it." "I'll share it," Sally said happily. "That's nice, Sally," replied Mark's dad. "But the right thing to do is contact the authorities." The next day, the four of them and Sally's mother drove to the police station, explained what had happened, and gave the treasure to the police to hold while they conducted their investigation. They left the police station sadly, and even the double-dipped ice cream cones Mark's father bought for them didn't make them smile. They drove back in silence. Several weeks passed with no word from the police. Then one evening, Mark's father called James, Sally, and their parents. "The police just called, and I think you should come over right now," he said. "I'm afraid there's some bad news about the treasure. The police are on their way and will explain everything when you get here." Sally and James didn't say much during the ride to Mark's house. Sally thought that since it was bad news, the treasure belonged to someone else, even though they probably lost it. "Whatever happened to finders keepers?" she mumbled. "What did you say, Sally?" her mother asked. "Oh, nothing," Sally replied. Then she let out a long, sad sigh that echoed through the car. When they arrived at Mark's house, the police were there with the treasure box. As Sally entered, the captain introduced himself and said, "Sally, this is yours. Your parents need to sign some papers, but the box and its contents are yours." Sally, Mark, and James shrieked with joy and danced around the room. Then Sally said, "What is the bad news?" The captain smiled and said, "The treasure is worth more money than you can imagine, and with your newfound wealth comes great responsibility." Sally didn't quite understand what the captain was talking about, and right now it really didn't matter. Mark asked, "Are you going to share?" "Of course," Sally said. "If you and James didn't help me, I might still be there." Several days later, Sally asked everyone over to her house. I have decided what to do with the money from the treasure after it is sold, she said. I'm giving 1/6 to our mom and dad, 1/6 to Mark's mom and dad, 1/6 to Mark, 1/6 to James, and 1/6 for me. There's an extra 1/6. Mark proudly stated. He loved math and was right on top of Sally's calculations. No, there is not, Sally said. It's 2, James said. It's not, Sally said in an angered voice, just as Mark was going to say. They're at it again, Sally said. This is why there's an extra 1/6. I'm giving it to the local charity so it can be given to those less fortunate and in need. Her mother and father said it was a caring and responsible thing to do. They were very proud of her and knew that she understood what the captain meant when he had turned the treasure over to her just before days. Wow, friends, what a great story there was. Is it always the must for siblings to pick on each other? Well, I think so. If not, then you're not siblings. So as Sally found the treasure, or if you always found something that has a lot of value and you don't know whose it is, please do the right thing and report to the local authorities. Then they can take the investigation further. Friends, I enjoyed this story. So see you next time again on Story Time. Bye!
Wow, Micheline, that was such an interesting story.
It was such a lovely story, I must say, Monique.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself too.
Now we're heading to our 2 favorite people, Zoey and Zoshy. I can't wait to hear Zoshy's fun fact today. He is always creative and always teaching us new things every day.
Yes, Zoshy's very smart. So let's head over to Zoey and Zoshy.
Yay!
Hello, how are you? I'm good, I'm great, I'm wonderful. Hooray! Hello, how are you? I'm good, I'm great, I'm wonderful. Hooray! Zoey, do you hear that?
Hear what?
That sound. I hear trees and wind and leaves and things walking.
Zoshy, look. Our friends are here and they make me feel braver already. I am Zoey and I am afraid of dark woods.
And I am Zoshy and I'm afraid of cold woods. And together we are brother and sister.
We missed you so much. Like super much. Like a lot.
We are so excited that you guys are back.
Zoshy, this week is all about memories and remembering our best times with our friends. One of my best memories was when we faced our fears and we spoke about the scary woods.
Woods are really scary. Do you remember the time when we went camping?
I remember. That was so scary at first, but we realized that sometimes our imagination makes things so much worse. Zoshy and I went camping with a few of our friends on a school trip.
We camped in this big forest, and during the day it was so cold and light and full of amazing things.
But when it gets dark, it becomes really scary. We were all on our way to do a treasure hunt in the dark. While we were working, I heard the scariest sound. It was a ooh sound. It sounded just like a ghost.
A ghost? No way. Like a real ghost?
A real ghost. I was so scared. I could almost feel the ghost. But I decided I needed to be brave and wanted to catch the ghost just as it was behind me. I counted 1, 2, and 3 and jumped around, but there was nothing.
Nothing, like really nothing?
Mm-hmm. I then realized it wasn't a ghost at all. It was the wind. I felt very silly for being scared. Who is scared of the wind?
Well, I'm not scared of the wind. I remember while we were walking, I saw this big yellow eye staring right at me. I was so scared I dropped my juice and got juice all over my feet.
Eyes? In the woods? That is super scary. I would have cried. What was it? A bear? A dinosaur? A boogeyman maybe?
It was just a friendly dog. He heard us walking and wanted to join us, but he was so scared that we will chase him away. We named him Derek the dog, and he was just the cutest puppy ever.
Oh, I love puppies. I remember how scared I was when we were walking in the woods. I could hear the leaves crunch behind me like someone was following me. It got louder and louder and louder, and suddenly it was right behind me. Ah! Oh, I howled so loud that my friend Ziggy also started screaming, and I maybe cried a bit, Zoshy.
What was behind you? A wolf?
No.
A lion?
No.
A big elephant?
No, it was just a cute little bunny. What are you laughing at, Zoshy? But it's funny.
You cried because ooh,
Zoshy,
because
how
of a
up,
bunny.
how up.
Really, Zoe? Because of a bunny?
Stop laughing, man. Do you remember? So, hoo in the woods.
Stop. We promised we wouldn't say anything. Shh.
You need to tell our friends. That was so funny.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine, Zoe. Okay, I heard someone say who the whole time as we were walking. So I thought it was someone asking me who was walking in the woods. Every time I heard who, I answered, Zoshy. After like 20 times, I realized it wasn't a person asking who. It was an owl.
That is so funny.
Don't
Imagine.
laugh.
Who. Zoshy. Who. Zoshy.
Grandma Zoshiana.
Okay, sorry. Sometimes, really now, Zoshy?
Yes.
Sometimes when we get scared, we tend to think of horrible things. When you get scared in woods, just remember to breathe. We also have a super fun song you can sing when you get scared.
That's right, friends. So get ready. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Walking in the woods, we're not afraid, Walking in the woods, we're not afraid, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. Stop! Look! What's that? It's a deer! We're not afraid, let's stomp! Stomping in the woods, we're not afraid, Stomping in the woods, we're not afraid, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. Stop! Listen, what's that? It's an owl! We're not afraid, let's jump! Jumping in the woods, we're not afraid, Jumping in the woods, we're not afraid, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. Stop! Look! What's that? It's a rabbit! We're not afraid, let's skip! Skipping in the woods, we're not afraid, Skipping in the woods, we're not afraid, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. Stop! Listen, what's that? It's a woodpecker. We're not afraid. Walking in the woods, walking in the woods. We're not afraid, we're not afraid. Walking in the woods, walking in the woods. We're not afraid, we're not afraid. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. Stop. What's that smell? Pew! It's a skunk! Run! What a fun song, Zoe. Today, I learned that woods are actually magical places. They have all these different animals and flowers and trees. And when you look past the very scary part, you realize that everything will be okay.
True. Zoshy, it's time for your fun fact again.
Did you know that more than 300 million people live in the forest?
What?
Yes, and they are not scared at all. So if they can do it, then we can too.
I agree, Zoshy. Wow, that is so cool. Imagine a whole 300 million people.
Yes.
Friends, remember that the dogs sometimes make things look so scary. But actually, that funny noise is just a friendly rabbit. Oh, ow, hoo, hoo, hoo. Zoshy.
Grandma Zoshiana!
Okay.
Stop making fun of me, Zoe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, friends, sadly we have to go. That is it from us today, but we will see each other again tomorrow. See you next time. Bye.
Zoshy.
Don't do that. Grandma Zoshiana!
OMG, Micheline. Zoe and Zoshy are so much fun.
They are indeed.
Yeah, I
They
got a
are.
bit jealous.
Yeah,
When are
no.
we having fun?
Yeah, no, we are having fun now. This is the time that we're having fun.
Yes.
So, since Zoe and Zoshy told us about the woods and how scary it is sometimes, how it can be just a cute little bunny or
Yeah.
just wind, we are going to mention the stuff that we find in the woods. But
Interesting.
we're going to have to talk very fast so that you can remember what I said. Okay?
Okay.
So, if you can't remember, then I win. And if I can't remember, then you win.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, friends? Yay!
So, let's go. You're going to start since you're my guest.
Okay, great. Owl, trees, woodpecker.
Owl, trees, woodpecker.
Yeah.
Okay. Leaves, crunchy sound. Is that a word? Okay. Leaves, crunchy sound. Bunny. Eyes.
Leaves, crunchy sound, bunny eyes.
Okay. So far, so good.
Crocodile, grizzly bear, big trees, trunks, baboons, monkeys, lizards, fireflies.
Crocodile, biscuit bear, big trunks, leaves, big trees, fireflies, chunky trunks.
She lost this round.
What? No, I said everything.
No, you
Crispy bears
didn't.
live big trunks, chunky trunks, big trees.
You forgot the monkeys, baboons.
Oh yeah. True.
Yeah.
Okay.
1
Yeah.
point for me.
Okay. Little Red Riding Hood, wolf, Snow White,
Continue.
water, lake, owls, boat, haunted house.
Okay. Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, lakes, water, boat, haunted house.
There were 8. You're missing 2.
Yeah, I forgot the 2. Okay, you have 1
1.
point.
Okay. Let's go a bit faster.
Okay.
She's going down. D-O-W-N. Down.
Okay. What's the Black Panther, Tarzan, snakes, lizards, chameleons, hunters, poisonous frogs. Yeah.
Black Panther, Tarzan, snakes, hunters, poisonous frogs. Yeah.
No, you.
Yes.
I mentioned 6 and you mentioned 4.
Black Panther, Tarzan, hunters, poisonous frogs. What was it, friends? Help me out, friends. What was the other two? No, man, you're okay.
It was snakes, lizards, chameleons.
Yeah, snakes and lizards and chameleons. Okay. Now, wood.
You already mentioned
No, I
wood.
didn't. Okay. Okay. Walking in the woods. We're not afraid. Walking in the woods.
Okay, guys.
Wait, I'm not done.
You see what she's doing?
Yeah, I love him. That's how much I love him. Walking in the woods. It's a rabbit. It's a bunny. It's wind.
Walking in the woods. It's a rabbit. It's a bunny. It's wind.
Wrong. I said walking in the woods twice. Walking in the woods. It's a rabbit. It's a bunny. It's a wind. So.
Daylight cheating, guys. Daylight cheating. But these are the games you can play with your family members, your brother, sister, mother, father. It's friendly, kid-friendly for everyone.
And also, we're celebrating the birthday week. And it's our birthday tomorrow. So we're going to eat a lot of sweet stuff. Like Sugar King always comes through.
Yes.
Don't miss
Because we're
out.
celebrating 100 episodes of Active Kids.
Yes.
So I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to the sweet stuff like cupcakes. And
Me too.
Just to celebrate with you guys.
Don't give it away.
But they don't know the flavor. It just knows it's cupcakes.
Also, remember that you can download the Zoshy app on the Android phones and you can watch from lessons.
Yeah,
and even download and have some fun activities, guys. So that was it from Monique and I. See you tomorrow as we celebrate happy birthday.
So get your party hats ready and your balloons to celebrate with us.
Yes.
See you tomorrow.
Ta-ta, it's going to be a blast.